Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Sammons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Nora Fahmy. Did I say that right? Sorry.
Nora Fahmy.
Fahmy, I said it wrong. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Nora Fahmy, a functional health coach and wellness educator, also known as Well With Nora. Nora helps people, especially women, unlock lasting health and addressing complex issues like digestive imbalance, hormone disruption, fatigue, and skin concerns through balancing nutrition, lifestyle optimization, and personalized coaching. Her root cause focus empowers clients to feel like themselves again without restricted diets or quick fixes. Nora, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Olivia.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm very much excited to dive in and learn more about your journey. So, Nora, with all of my guests, I do actually like to start at the beginning. So if you don't mind briefly taking me back to what it was you was doing before you jumped into the coaching space, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Okay, so actually, my background was in a completely different field before I got into the coaching space. So I'm originally an interior designer. I was working in the corporate world for over 10 years. When I had my kids, I was mostly like working from home. And, just as the years went by, I just felt very like unfulfilled and just simply not very happy in my career path and my job. Like I felt there was so much more I could do and like I could create a bigger impact than I was at the time. And I really wanted to do something by myself, like be my own boss, but in a different field. And actually, what got me into this was I was like around the same time that this whole career, shift was happening, I was struggling with so many health issues myself. So, chronic digestive issues like IBS, chronic bloat, acid reflux, basically every digestive issue in the book. And I also had insulin resistance and other hormonal imbalances. And back then, where I live, there wasn't much awareness about preventing and reversing chronic conditions through nutrition and lifestyle changes. So then I did the certifications, really worked on healing my body. Like it was truly life-changing for me. And it became something I was really passionate about and wanted to pursue. Like I realized there wasn't this kind of thing in the market. It was
Yeah.
either like conventional medicine or dietitians. Health coaching was relatively new. No one really would talk about, understanding your body and how your body works and the role of nutrition and lifestyle changes on your health. And I knew from personally, overcoming my own health issues that this was a major gap in the market. And I really wanted to spread that awareness. Like I wanted women to feel seen and heard and help them really understand their bodies and why they're experiencing the symptoms that they are.
Yeah, I love it. And that's such an amazing position to find yourself in because I feel like maybe since COVID or definitely in the modern world, there's a lot more holistic approaches coming out to health and nutrition, especially for women when it comes to gut health and experiencing issues much like yourself. Um, it's so nice to have somebody there that's really calling for this and getting this message out in the world and just really trying to make it better. And to having your driving purpose is to help people, again, is such a great asset to have because everything else just kind of comes through from there. So how did you initially find that switch from obviously being in corporate and which is a pretty heavy lifestyle anyway, to then running a bit your own business and becoming an entrepreneur? Very heavy in a different way, I guess.
Very. So, like I said, like I was, yes, in the corporate world, but when I had my kids, so just before making that switch or that
Yeah.
transition, I was mostly working from home. But definitely, it was a major transition in terms of, you're your own boss, you make all the decisions, especially for someone like me, like I, was a perfectionist. So I always wanted to make sure to make everything perfect, like, the posting and everything in general. And I feel like it's okay to just cut yourself some slack and just take messy action, especially in the beginning. Um, but I feel like, starting your own business, um, it like forces you, like all your insecurity comes out to the surface, like it kind of forces you, like, yes, you're building a business, but at the same time you're forced to kind of what's the word, like just reshape, a lot of things internally.
Yeah.
um and yeah,
So
it's like you're growing together with your business, and I found that a huge just thing that I didn't really expect. You have to be okay with rejection, or be okay with people not agreeing with you or not liking you, or all these things that you really need to constantly work on every single day.
yeah, it's so true. It's a big mindset shift. And I feel like a lot of founders do struggle coming into that as well. You have, like, as you say, imposter syndrome coming in. Am I good enough? Can I do this job properly? And then just having to become a content creator on the other side of it as well, where you do have to kind of get yourself out there, especially as a coach. It's all built on that trusting relationship with strangers. So it is that mental shift to just put yourself out there and kind of get through it is definitely something to get used to. But
Exactly.
let's dive into the business a little bit more so the listeners can have some context moving forward. So, like, walk me through at this point on who would you say is your ideal client? Who do you very, very much love to work with the most? And then from there, how is you help them and how do you support them along their own wellness journey?
So, my ideal client is someone who has been struggling with gut issues for years.
Mm,
They've tried cutting out foods. They've tried, they go to doctors. They've done the testing. They've done all the things, and they still don't know why they're struggling with this. And also, for example, women who, and a lot of these things like women have in common. So it's not like only gut issues or only like hormonal, because it's related. It's all connected. So a lot of women come to me with period problems, like irregularities or extremely painful periods. So these are typically the women that I work with. When I first started, I was working with like gut and hormone and sustainable weight loss, but I did not see myself in the weight loss field at all. So I just pivoted to only gut and hormone issues. And sorry, what was the second part of the question you asked?
like, what is it like to work with you? How is it help with these women with your training and your coaching
You mean how I help them, like,
through their journey? So, like, the programs you offer, what it's like to work with you, just
okay,
kind
okay. Yeah. Okay, so and how I help them is, so my core offer is one-on-one coaching, private coaching. It's through my 3-month program. And yeah, like I get, it's very personalized and customized, obviously, because everyone's journey is different. Like it's
of.
not yes, I take them through a method, but it's very personalized, like I said, because everyone's journey is different, everyone's preferences are different, everyone's, likes, dislikes it. It's all depending on that person, like their lifestyles, their just daily structure, the structure of their day, it all differs. So we really take that into account. And yeah, like I said, it's online based. So we have online sessions every 2 weeks. And yeah, it's just a very gradual kind of step-by-step approach,
Yeah,
because I don't want it to be very overwhelming for them. And it's
yeah,
supposed to be also like a sustainable lifestyle thing. It's not like something you do for 3 months and then that's it. You just go back to your old ways, Like implementing new habits and creating new habits is not easy for a lot of people, and it takes time. So it's definitely something I emphasize, that this is a long-term, like, investment in your health.
100%. Yeah, it's a long-term journey and investment into your future, you know. And I think that sustainability aspect is so key to it because people, especially in the weight loss industry, pivoting away from that, it is so instantaneous at the moment. It is that like diet culture. It's we want like the perfect bikini body, Instagram body, whatever it may be. And it's just not good for your stomach or for your body or anything in general. And I think
Exactly.
a lot of women and a lot of past knowledge that has been given to us has kind of caused a lot of the issues today, especially when it comes to gut health and hormonal balance. You know, those fad diets just implement everything. So I love that you tailor it to their approach. You say everyone's different, everyone's past history is different as well. So it's a really custom way of helping people. And so how do you go about acquiring your customers? So like when it comes to like putting yourself out there, I know we kind of touched on it earlier, but like what are you finding most effective at the moment and really finding those right people to work with?
So, like I said, my business is online based. So usually what happens is if someone reaches out either on Instagram or even if someone is like referred to me by someone, we have a little chit chat and just to know like what their main concerns are. And I always direct them to book a free discovery call with me.
Okay.
That way, and I have a Calendly link on my profile, and that way, like, they get to know me and my process. I get to know them, get to know what their, goals are, what their biggest obstacles are, and to really see if we're a perfect fit to work together. Because a lot of times, or sometimes, it's not always the case. So, um, that's usually how it works. And, we get on the call. We go through like there's like an application form that they fill out prior to when they book the call. I mean, and then we just go through that, and then I pitch my offer, and then they just tell me if they want to move forward or not.
Yeah, and as you say, it's a nice process because you do have that connection piece in the middle of it where you are making sure it's a good fit on both sides and you can actually obviously meet the needs and the goals of your clients. But also the fact that it's such a personal journey as well. It has to be a good fit for you because you do invest a lot of time. You need to make sure that obviously it's a right fit for yourself and you're not just wasting your time with somebody that's not going to pay attention or listen to the methods
Exactly.
you're telling them.
Exactly. I always say it has to be a perfect fit from both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's key to it. I love that a lot. And
Mhm.
do you go through that whole process yourself? So, for example, like, do you have a team that helping you out with maybe taking the sales calls or running a little bit of marketing for you?
No, no, it's
Covering all the
just me.
hats.
It's just me.
And how are you doing with that? There's obviously new skills you must have learned coming into it as well, but
Oh my
maybe,
God, so many
yeah.
new skills. Yeah, like it was relatively like simple, let's say. Like, it's simple once you learn what you need to do. But then once you have those like systems set, it just becomes easier for you.
Yeah, and that's a great tip for anyone that's listening. Having great systems behind you allows you to
Exactly.
kind of move forward your own
Yeah.
self.
And there's so much now with like automation and having those
Yeah.
systems and having those links. And so, yeah, I think that's made it much easier.
100%. Without AI, I don't know what people was doing 5 years ago, twice as much work. But when it comes to obviously Instagram and that the best way, and it's a great way to attract clients just to build that connection track factor, you know. Do you run any form of like paid advertisements or is it just organic outreach from yourself?
It's mostly organic, like, posting a lot of posts, stories. I really try to, speak to who, like, sorry,
Yeah.
can we rewind? Okay, so, okay, so I like in my main, uh, uh, sorry, go back again.
You okay?
Okay, so my main page is on Instagram. That's the only platform I use at the moment. I just like to keep things very clean and clear on my profile. So people, whoever visits my profile can easily see, for example, the highlights. I keep it to what exactly people need to know. So like my story, my program and how it's structured and client results. And then, sorry, what was the question again? I kind of got lost.
So the question was like if you run any form of paid advertisements across IG or is it just organic
Oh yeah.
outreach?
Yeah, so I remember in the very beginning, I did, used to do the boost for the Instagram boost option
Yeah.
to get things started. But then I really, learned about posting, about marketing. Like I really try to make it also clear in my messaging. Like I try to understand my audience, what they're
Mhm.
struggling with, what they're missing, and how I can help them overcome their, gut or hormonal issues. And I translate all that into my messaging and try to make it very clear. And through my messaging, also, I direct them to, like I
Yeah.
said, to book the discovery call.
Yeah, I like that. So again, I'm on the phone, you build that connection piece straight away. But it's good that you're being authentic online, as you say, sticking clear to your mission, making it simple for people to understand you, know who you are, and then hopefully from there connect and resonate with your story as well. It's just a
Exactly.
great way of building that trust factor. You know, as you say, what you like before, we want to make sure it's a good fit on both sides. So if you're
Mhm.
not here for Nora, we're going to move on to the next one, and I like that a lot. And Nora, obviously, we're at the start of 2026, Jan 2026. What do you have in store for the rest of the year? So, like, are you thinking of maybe scaling the business and taking it to another level? Like, what is that goal and vision for you over the next 12 to 6 to 12 months?
So yeah, definitely, like I can only take a specific amount of one-on-one clients at a time. So definitely, doing things on a bigger scale, like for example, just trying to reach more people through, let's say, online, like live master classes or online workshops, even like in-person things. Like I've done a few in-person events, and I love that in person, like that connection.
Yeah.
Like in our world now, you feel like everything is online and you see each other online, but it's different when you actually see someone in real life. Um, and also, I really want to focus on, like what really makes me stand out in the market. Um, so like I see a lot of, things in the wellness space, like a lot of restriction, a lot of, just stress around that. And I feel like I really want to simplify health for women. Like, just a more realistic and sustainable approach, like I said earlier, Um, yeah, and that's really what I want to build, and that's what I want to, instill in my clients and maybe other people to know that it doesn't need to be as complicated as sometimes it may seem.
100%. And you did mention earlier is that overwhelm that comes with nutrition. Anything that's kind of, I feel like fitness based at the moment, whether it's health and wellness or exercising, the overwhelm key is kind of what puts people off straight away because they think they have to change their whole life. And as you said throughout, it's adapting it to make sure that it's tailored to your needs and your goals. So making that approach, making it easy and understandable and just simple for people. I love it. It's a great way to kind of get your authenticity out there as well, as you say, just keeping it regimented the whole way through. So we're looking to get like more person events, just really get your brand out there. Where are you finding like the biggest challenge for yourself in taking those next steps?
So some of the biggest challenges are definitely like overthinking and hesitation. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't be overthinking things too much.
Mm,
I just go for it. Um, and even, like there are some seasons that are slower than others. There are seasons where I'm fully booked. There are seasons where, you feel like no one is watching, no one's engaging as much as you like. And I feel like you just need to keep that bigger vision in front of you and just, keep going and keep, it doesn't mean if, like part of the hesitation is, like if something doesn't work out the way you want, doesn't mean that people didn't, benefit from whether it's the workshop or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I think it's just a lot of, again, mindset shifts.
yes. It's that again, it's that imposter syndrome, and I feel like a lot of founders struggle with it, and a lot of female founders especially, it is that piece of like, am I just doing the right thing? Just keep muddling through the trenches,
Exactly.
but it does all pay off. And again, as I said, start having that person, that like purpose and that mission just to help people. That's all the kind of focus you need. So just having that behind you is such a great asset to have. And Nora, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
Yeah, so they can reach out on Instagram at Well With Nora. Any inquiries, and that's where, like I said, I have the Calendly link, or if they just want to connect and just take a look at my profile, I have a lot of um, sorry, let's go back a bit. Yeah, so they can connect with me on Instagram at Well With Nora. That's where I am at the moment.
Amazing. Perfect. Well, Nora, and as you say, we can book a call and have a chat with you there. So to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go and check out Nora. Drop her a like, give her a call if you fancy, and do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing, and we will see you on the next one.